What's going on, guys? Spider Gaming here with my WWE Elimination Chamber prediction video. Before we get into it, make sure you smash that like and super kick the subscribe. In our first matchup prediction, it's Alberto Carrillo taking on Andrade for the United States Championship. These two have been feuding back and forth for a couple of months now. But of course, Andrade failed the wellness policy. He was out for 30 days. Came back at the Super Letdown, aka Super Showdown pay-per-view. And now these two get to continue their rivalry at Elimination Chamber. Now, if these two are given enough time, I think they could really steal the show. So we've seen their matches on Monday Night Raw. It's absolutely fantastic. I don't think Alberto is going to walk away with the title. I think Angel Garza most likely will get involved, causing some sort of distraction, possibly disqualification, where Andrade will retain his United States Championship. Rey Mysterio, I'm sure, will be involved as well. All four of these guys have been battling back and forth with each other, which I have a feeling could set up potentially a fatal four-way at WrestleMania. Possibly a ladder match. I'm really hoping that's a ladder match, honestly. But for the Elimination Chamber, I predict Andrade holds on to the title with the assistance of Angel Garza. So your winner and still United States Champion, Andrade. And in our next matchup, it's AJ Styles taking on Aleister Black. It's a no disqualification matchup. Now, we saw on Raw, this past Monday night on Raw, the OC just beating down Aleister Black, 3-on-1 situation, and he actually lost, which up until that point, WWE has been very protective of Aleister Black. Was sort of on an undefeated streak, and then ended up losing in a somewhat handicap style match on Raw. So with this being no disqualifications, I mean, obviously Gallows and Anderson are going to get involved in some way, shape, or form. Now, of course, people are wondering if The Undertaker will show up. Will he make an appearance, have an effect on this matchup? And I'm thinking, yes, at some point, the Dead Man will show up, save Aleister Black from a 3-on-1 situation, much like we saw on Raw. Now, I'm hoping that this doesn't lead to a 2-on-3 matchup at a WrestleMania. I don't want to see the Undertaker tag with Aleister Black against the OC. I think it'd be just a complete waste. I understand you want to get all the guys on the WrestleMania card, but really everybody just wants to see Undertaker take on AJ Styles, the Phenom, versus the Phenomenal One. That's what everybody wants to see. But it's WWE, so who knows? Anything could happen. I just really don't want to see Undertaker and Aleister Black tag against the OC. I don't think anybody wants to see that. You could have Alistair take on Gallows and Anderson in a handicap match. I think that's fine. Gets them on the card at least, but everyone really just wants to see Undertaker take on AJ Styles. So my prediction for this match is the OC get involved. The dead man, The Undertaker, shows up to save the day. Now, maybe The Undertaker is actually there physically, attacks the OC, or maybe just the lights go out, causes the distraction, and allows Alistair to pick up the win. So my prediction, Alistair Black picks up the win over AJ Styles with a little help from the dead man, The Undertaker. Alright, next up, it's the Raw Tag Team Championship match featuring the Tag Team Champions, the Street Profits, defending against Seth Rollins and Murphy. Of course, the Street Profits defeated Rollins and Murphy for the Tag Team titles. I don't even know what to call them. I just call them the Monday Night Morons. Anyway, I'm not sure why they put the titles on Rollins and Murphy in the first place. I mean, Akam and Razor are doing nothing, and they're actually a tag team. I think it would have made more sense to put the titles on Akam and Razor and just have Rollins as the preacher man or the cult leader, whatever the hell he is. I'm not quite sure. He actually reminds me of a character in the Far Cry games, Far Cry New Dawn, if you guys remember Jacob Seed. Kind of that cult leader type thing. That's who Seth Rollins reminds me of. I wouldn't be surprised if he's almost taking inspiration from that character, because Rollins is a gamer, so that would not surprise me. But anyway, Rollins and Murphy getting their rematch against the Street Profits. Now, I can't see Rollins and Murphy winning the titles back so soon after they just gave it to the Street Profits. I think the Street Profits are going to retain. There's going to be some sort of miscommunication or some sort of accident that happens that allows the Street Profits to capitalize and defeat Rollins and Murphy. I'm sure Akam and Razor will try to get involved in some way, but I'm thinking that the Street Profits retain. I think that they're going to walk into WrestleMania as the champs. Not quite sure who the challengers might be at this point for them, but I have a feeling that we could potentially see a triple threat or fatal four-way matchup involving the Viking Raiders and maybe Kevin Owens, maybe Samoa Joe if he's cleared at that time. I know he's out right now, failed the wellness policy, so maybe we'll see something like that happen at Mania. As far as this matchup goes, it's probably going to be pretty standard. I mean, these four guys work well together. Maybe Kevin Owens will show up, cost Rollins and Murphy the match. Something like that. There's going to be something in here that ties into what's going to happen at Mania. But, yeah, for this match, I predict the Street Profits retain the titles. They defeat Rollins and Murphy. And they're going to walk into WrestleMania, the Raw Tag Team Champions. Next up, it's the Intercontinental Championship match. It's the champion Braun Strowman defending against Shinsuke Nakamura, Sami Zayn, and Cesaro in a 1-on-3 handicap match. So this is an interesting concept for this match. The four of these guys have been feuding for quite a bit now. I don't even know what to call Sami and I mean, this would be a pretty interesting dynamic if somehow the three of these guys become co-Intercontinental Champions. I think the last time that happened was Chris Jericho in China back in the day. But, I mean, that would be kind of cool if that happened. I don't see Strowman dropping the title. I mean, he just won it. And Cesaro, Nakamura, and Sami Zayn have been pretty much just a comedy act at this point. I mean, if they did win the title, I'm sure they could do a lot of fun things, comedy-wise. But, I mean, you just have three talented wrestlers that just seem to be being wasted every single week. It just seems like they're getting constantly squashed by Braun Strowman somehow. But, yeah, I think there's going to be no way that these guys walk out with the title. I mean, they're just making Strowman just look like this unstoppable monster of a man, aka the monster among men. So my prediction is Braun Strowman makes short work of Sami, Shinsuke, and Cesaro, easily squashing these guys, sending them even farther into the abyss. And Braun Strowman retains the Intercontinental Championship. Up next, it's the SmackDown Tag Team Championship Elimination Chamber match. It's The Miz and John Morrison defending their titles against the Usos, The New Day, Heavy Machinery, Robert Roode, Dolph Ziggler, and the Lucha House Party. Now, WWE 2K20 does not have a Tag Team Elimination Chamber match, so I just took one member from each team and threw them in the chamber, in case you're wondering. Now, this match was made to replace the men's Elimination Chamber on the SmackDown side after WWE decided that, we're going to have Goldberg defeat The Fiend at Super Showdown. And we'll just make Roman Reigns the number one contender to challenge Goldberg. We'll just completely scrap the men's Elimination Chamber and just give it to Roman. Because, I mean, they're going to give it to him anyway. So, at least we get a Tag Team Elimination Chamber match out of this, which should be pretty exciting. Miz and Morrison just won the titles, so I can't see them dropping them in this match. But I assume this will set up some sort of situation where we'll see the Usos and the New Day potentially in a triple threat match scenario, challenging Miz and Morrison. Now, I believe the Revival were originally supposed to be in this matchup, but there's some issues going on with them. I believe it's some contract disputes going on. I don't think the Revival are actually going to re-sign. I don't think they're going to sign a new contract. They were pulled from this pay-per-view, and they've been pulled from a lot of the live events, and they weren't on this past week's episode of SmackDown. So, looks like the Revival are out, and they were replaced by the Lucha House Party, which nobody really cares about, I think. They're just kind of thrown in there. But, yeah, I think Miz and Morrison, they have this. There's going to be some sort of double team situation going on here where Miz and Morrison retain the titles, set up some sort of match at WrestleMania with the Usos and the New Day. I believe the Usos and New Day are tied with tag team title reigns. I might be wrong on that, but they could be trying to build a story around that for Mania. So my prediction, Miz and Morrison retain the SmackDown tag team titles in the Tag Team Elimination Chamber match. They will walk into WrestleMania as the SmackDown Tag Team Champs, where I predict it'll be a triple threat match between the Usos and the New Day. So your winners and still Tag Team Champions, Miz and Morrison. And for our last matchup of the night, which I predict will be the main event, it's the Raw Women's Championship #1 contender match featuring Shayna Baszler, Asuka, Liv Morgan, Ruby Riott, Sarah Logan, and Natalya. And honestly, this match is going to be a complete waste of time because we all know that the winner is quite obviously going to be Shayna Baszler. I mean, there's no possible way anyone else is going to win this match. I mean, they've already built up Shayna as the challenger to Becky's championship. It makes absolutely no sense to not have Shayna win. I mean, she's a legit MMA fighter. You're putting her in a cage match. They've already mentioned that multiple times on Raw, that she's a cage fighter. I mean, she attacked Becky Lynch, took a chunk out of her neck. Like, I don't know if she's supposed to be some sort of vampire or what's going on, but like, they've already invested in this matchup. I mean, like, they're just having this match just for the sake of having an Elimination Chamber match. I assume that they're going to have some showdown between Asuka and Shayna. It's probably going to be the final two. Maybe Becky makes an appearance. I don't know. All I know is that 100% Shayna is going to win. And if she doesn't, I mean, this company is so dumb. If Shayna does not win this match, it would be probably worse than having The Fiend drop the title to Goldberg. That's right, I said it. So you have Natalya, who has not been in the title picture for like forever. She's in this match. Really has no business being in this match. And, you know, I'm sorry. And, you know, she's my fellow Canadian. But Natalya, I mean, you don't stand a chance in this match. I mean, you have Asuka, who's been buried multiple times. She's one half of the women's tag team champions, if you forgot about that. She is a champ with Kairi Sane. And then you have the Riot Squad. You got Liv Morgan, Sarah Logan, and the returning Ruby Riott. I mean, like, what more could you ask for? I mean, we're going to have the whole Riot Squad in an Elimination Chamber match. I mean, it's going to be amazing. There's going to be a huge crowd pop for that. I don't think the crowd's going to be into this at all. It's really just a waste of time. They should have made this a Raw Tag Team title Elimination Chamber match or something. But this is just, that makes no sense at all to me. And that's just my opinion, and I'm sure a lot of you would agree. And Shayna is just going to destroy everybody. They're just going to make Shayna look like a beast in this match to make her look like a legit contender. Which, honestly, at this point, Shayna's the only contender to challenge Becky. You literally have no one else. Charlotte's in NXT, and you've already buried Asuka. So 100% Shayna's winning this match to face Becky at WrestleMania for the title. So if you guys enjoyed this prediction video, please remember to lay the smackdown on the like and super kick the subscribe. Hope you guys enjoy the pay-per-view. Let me know your predictions in the comments, and I hope to see you guys in the next video. Don't you dare miss it!